Hey everybody. This week we're going to be discussing another of the 9 core values that form the pillars of the program that we're in here at West Virginia University, Parkersburg. Integrity is the value that's been chosen for us to discuss in this course. So let's get into it. And I'm going to try and keep this kind of brief this week. So before we can identify why integrity is important to nurses, we must really first have an understanding of what integrity actually means. So to define it, the Oxford Dictionary defines integrity as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, or the quality of being morally upright. I take a little bit of umbrage with that definition because it lacks some nuance pretty significantly, but it does effectively state that integrity is just the attribute of keeping one's word, or following through on agreements that were made, basically acting in a way that follows the principles that an individual claims to live their life by. In other words, integrity boils down to a person that both talks the talk and walks the walk. Given that nobody appreciates being lied to or deceived, it's easy to see how such a quality like integrity has become important to so many people, specifically in the healthcare field. Integrity is a quality that can determine an incredible amount about not only the daily experience of the healthcare worker themselves, but also about the experience of their colleagues and the patients that they treat. The nurse that returns when they say they're going to return and that gathers the information that they say they're going to gather for the patient, that keeps the patient updated on their care in general, their care plan and what's going to happen, that's the nurse that the patient tends to trust and that they want to listen to and work for, which is a huge part of what we do. Um, Conversely, the nurse that doesn't follow through on their agreements and puts off tasks that they don't feel comfortable with or don't want to do, and folks that choose to treat the disease or worry about what the numbers are saying rather than how the person is continuing to, progress. Those are the nurses that people tend to not trust or tend to not want to do more for. You might hear complaints about later. So integrity goes a very long way in just building relationships with our patients as a whole. Uh, Sometimes that's also going to put us at odds with other healthcare workers, not just other nurses, but anyone from the floor cleaner up to the head of the hospital. No, again, like we said earlier, nobody likes being lied to. So ultimately, both within the healthcare field and on the wider world, integrity really does play a massive role in the manner in which an individual conducts themselves and also how that person's viewed by other people. The scrutiny is perhaps magnified by engaging in a community trusted profession like nursing. There are arguments about integrity being either just a value or if it's more of a framework or a set of values that one can view their a lens with which to view their life through based upon the morals that an individual has. Either definition really winds up the same thing, which is basically that a person with integrity will always gain the respect of their peers with much more ease than a person that lacks integrity or demonstrates, the opposite of integrity. So, a little bit of rambling, but still an interesting topic to touch base on. So, I appreciate y'all listening, and I look forward to hearing what other folks have to say. Have a good rest of your week, everyone.